All right, get ready, folks, because we are diving deep today
Into Disney.
into Disney.
In 2025.
Yeah, we're going to try to predict the future a little bit, and
Oh, what a good roadmap.
we do have a good roadmap. It's an article by Rick Munneris.
From the Motley Fool.
Yep, published on January 3rd, 2025, called, what is it called? 5 Dates.
5 dates for Disney stock investors to circle in 2025.
There you go. So whether you are, already a Disney investor
Or thinking about it.
or just curious about the Mouse House, like we are,
Always.
this is going to be a really fun deep dive. We're going to look at streaming, the parks.
New Avatar movie.
Ooh, can't wait for that.
Big things coming up.
So let's jump right in. Our first date on this roadmap is February 5th, 2025.
That's when we have Disney's fiscal first quarter earnings call.
Earnings calls. Sounds a little bit dry, maybe.
Maybe a little bit. But this one is really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Because the analysts, they're predicting, modest revenue growth, but a huge jump in profitability.
Okay, like how huge are we talking?
They're expecting earnings per share to hit $1.44 share,
Whoa.
which is an 18% increase.
Wow. That's a big jump.
It is.
So what's behind all this optimism?
I think a lot of it has to do with streaming.
Okay.
Analysts are predicting that Disney Plus will finally be profitable
This is the quarter.
this quarter.
So they've been investing so much in it.
So much.
And now it's finally like turning that corner.
Yeah, they're going into the black.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, this earnings call is going to be really interesting to see, where do they go from here?
Yeah, how do they keep that momentum going? So it's really about more than just like the numbers themselves. It's like,
Right.
what does it tell us about the future
Exactly.
of Disney and their strategy and all that? All right, well, let's move on to another date that I think a lot of fans are going to be really excited about. March 4th, 2025.
Oh, yeah.
Daredevil, Born Again, premieres on Disney+.
This is a big one.
Yeah, this is not just, any superhero show.
Right.
Remind us, where did Daredevil start?
So it originally aired on Netflix.
Okay.
And it was critically acclaimed.
Super popular with fans, yeah.
Yeah, people loved it.
So then the rights went back to Disney.
Back to Disney, and fans were like, yes.
Bring it back, baby.
Yeah. And they are. They're bringing back a lot of the original cast.
Smart move, right?
So Smart really taps into that fan base and that anticipation.
But the big question, is this going to, move the needle for Disney Plus, man?
I mean, that's what they're hoping for.
Right. Could it bring in, a huge wave of new subscribers?
A whole bunch of new people.
What about people who maybe, let their subscription lapse?
Oh, yeah, get them back in.
Could this be the thing that brings them back?
Daredevil might be it.
So it's a big bet on nostalgia, but it's a calculated one.
Definitely.
If it works, Daredevil could become, like a flagship show for Disney Plus.
Just like Stranger Things for Netflix.
Exactly.
It could be math.
All right, well, let's move on from superheroes and gritty stuff to something a little more
Magical.
magical.
Whimsical.
May 16th, 2025, Disneyland's 70th anniversary kicks off.
Big celebration.
Now Disney knows how to throw a party.
Oh, they do.
Especially for an anniversary.
Especially for an anniversary. Remember Disney World's 50th?
Oh, yeah.
Attendance went through the roof. People were spending more than ever.
So they know how to, turn nostalgia into profit.
They are the masters.
Masters. So how are they going to leverage this for Disneyland? What can we expect?
New merchandise, for sure.
Oh, yeah, limited.
New parades, maybe even a new attraction.
Oh, themed around the history.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, something like that. So if they can even get, close to the success they had with Disney World's 50th.
That's a big win for Dish.
Huge. But Disney's not just about land anymore. They're taking to the seas.
Oh, yeah, the cruise line expansion.
That's right. This is where things get really interesting.
2 new ships launching within a month of each other.
Okay, so walk us through this. What are the ships?
We've got the Disney Destiny launching on November 20th.
Okay.
And then the Disney Adventure coming on December 16th.
And the Disney Adventure is going to be...
Their largest ship yet.
We're talking a capacity of 6,000 passengers.
That's huge.
It's 50% larger than their current flagship.
Bold move.
So can they fill these ships?
I mean, Disney cruises are already, pretty pricey.
Right.
And we're maybe headed into, not the best economic climate.
So it's a gamble.
It is.
But it could be a really lucrative one.
Right, yeah. If they can pull it off, it could really change the whole cruise industry.
Yeah, with Disney leading the way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about our final date, December 19th, 2025.
Back to Pandora.
That's right. Avatar. Fire and Ash hits theaters.
big premiere.
And this is the
third installment in the Avatar franchise.
All right, so reminder, how did the first two Avatar films do?
Phenomenal. The original is still the highest-grossing film globally. And the sequel, Avatar, The Way of Water, is sitting at number 3.
So big shoes to fill.
Big shoes.
Does Avatar 3 have what it takes?
Well, that's the question, right?
I mean, the first two were visually stunning.
Groundbreaking.
You know, they really pushed the boundaries of filmmaking.
James Cameron does it again.
But can he do it a third time?
That's what we want to see.
Will it be another global phenomenon? Because it's not just about, box office.
Right. It affects so much.
Think about theme parks.
Merchandising.
Streaming.
Spin-offs.
Yeah, the potential is huge.
It's massive for Disney.
But it all depends on whether the film can capture the imagination of audiences.
Like the first two did.
So there you have it. 5 dates that could define Disney's year.
And maybe even beyond.
That's right. But now we need to connect the dots. What does this all mean? What's the big picture here?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about after a quick break, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
All right, so before break, we were talking about these 5 key dates for Disney in 2025.
Big year for the Mouse House.
Earnings calls, superhero reboot, Disneyland's anniversary, new cruise ships, a new Avatar film.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack. But now it's time to, zoom out a little bit.
Look at the big picture.
Yeah. What does all of this tell us about Disney's overall strategy? What's their plan?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is just how diverse Disney is as a company.
Oh, wait.
I mean, they're not just movies anymore.
Right.
They're streaming, they're theme parks, they're cruises.
It's like all these different pieces working together.
Yeah, and that's what makes them so resilient.
Okay.
Because if one area isn't doing so well, the others can kind of, pick up the slack.
Right. So if, the economy takes a downturn, people maybe aren't going to the parks as much.
Right. They can focus more on streaming.
Exactly.
Or vice versa.
So it's smart.
Very strategic.
It is. It is. So let's go back to March 4th and the Daredevil premiere.
Okay.
Because, we were talking about how this could be huge for Disney Plus, but how do we actually predict a subscriber growth for a streaming service? How do analysts do that?
It's not an exact science, but they look at a lot of different factors.
Like what?
How much is the company spending on content?
Okay.
What kind of marketing campaigns are they running?
Okay.
What's the competition doing?
Right.
And just, general trends in the streaming industry.
It's a lot to consider.
Yeah, for Daredevil specifically, they'll be watching, what's the buzz like on social media?
Okay.
What are the critics saying? And, how many people are watching it in those first few weeks?
So it's not just about, is the show good? It's
So
about
does it get people talking?
hype. Yeah, it's got to be a cultural moment.
Yeah, like Squid Game.
Stranger Things.
Those shows, everyone was watching them. Everyone was talking about them.
That's what Disney wants for Daredevil.
Exactly. So while we're talking streaming, let's not forget about the parks.
And that big anniversary, Disneyland 70th, May 16th. This is where Disney really knows how to, tap into that nostalgia.
Absolutely.
Those warm, fuzzy feelings.
Make people want to spend money.
Exactly. Exactly. So what kind of, merchandise can we expect for this anniversary?
Oh, I bet we'll see limited edition collectibles.
Okay, yeah.
Retro-themed apparel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some special food and beverage offering.
Oh, themed alike. Classic Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I like it. I like it. And what about experiences?
Ooh, maybe a new nighttime spectacular.
Fireworks.
Projections, the whole shebang.
I can see it now.
Character meet and greets.
With, the classic characters.
Mickey and Minnie in their old school outfits.
Oh, that'd be adorable.
Maybe even, a historical exhibit.
Ooh,
Walk through the history of Disneyland.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
So this anniversary, it's a chance to, create these really special experiences that people are going to want to pay for.
And remember, for years to come.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, but while we're talking nostalgia in the past, Disney's also looking ahead to the future.
There's those massive cruise ships.
2 new ships coming in November and December.
The Destiny and the Adventure.
And the Adventure, remember, is going to be their biggest ship yet.
6,000 passengers.
Like a floating city.
But can they actually fill a ship that big?
Especially with those, premium prices.
That's a big question. Some analysts are worried about oversaturation in the cruise industry.
Okay, too many ships, not enough passengers.
Potentially, yeah.
But others think it's a really smart move by Disney.
Yeah, to capture more of that family cruise market.
Okay, so it's a gamble, but a calculated one.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about Avatar, Fire and Ash,
Coming out December 19th.
the third film in the franchise.
Big expectations.
Huge EE expectations.
I mean, the first two films were just massive hits.
Oh, boy.
So there's a lot of pressure on this third one to deliver.
Yeah. Can it live up to the hype?
Right. Will it have that same wow factor?
I mean, the original Avatar was groundbreaking with those visual effects.
And the 3D.
Everyone was running out to see it in 3D.
And the sequel, Avatar, The Way of Water, it showed that people still love Pandora.
They want to go back.
But will Avatar 3 be more of the same? Or will it offer something new?
Yeah, will it have a story that really grabs people?
Because if it doesn't, it could be a flop.
And that would be a big blow to Disney.
Because a successful Avatar film, I mean, that could mean huge revenue.
Across the board.
Box office, streaming, merchandise, the parks.
Yeah, but if it fails...
It could signal that the franchise is losing its appeal.
So yeah, a lot riding on this film. Okay, so we've covered streaming, parks, cruises, and movies. It's like Disney's got all these different balls in the air.
Juggling.
Juggling, yeah. So what does this mean for the listener who's thinking about, investing in Disney?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Okay, so we've really gone deep on these 5 key dates for Disney in 2025.
Yeah, from earnings calls to cruise ships.
And everything in between.
The Mouse House has a lot going on.
But for our listeners out there who are thinking about investing in Disney, what's the takeaway? What should they be thinking about?
Well, I think these 5 dates, they really give us a glimpse into, Disney's roadmap for the future.
Yeah, but they're prioritizing where they see growth opportunity.
Exactly. And we've seen how they're really leveraging all the different parts of their business.
Streaming, parks, cruises, it's all connected.
And they're not afraid to, shake things up.
Take some risks.
Yeah, try new things.
Which is exciting, but also, comes with some uncertainty.
Definitely. Like with that cruise ship expansion, it's a big bet.
And it could pay off big time.
It could backfire.
And then there's Avatar 3.
A lot riding on that film.
So I guess the big question for investors is, do you believe in Disney's long-term vision?
Yeah. Do you think they can keep innovating and adapting?
To this constantly changing, entertainment landscape?
Because the market, it really rewards companies that are looking ahead.
Yeah, it's not just about past performance. It's about what you're doing today to set yourself up for success in the future.
So think about, is Disney investing in the right technologies?
Are they making content that people actually want to watch?
Are they staying ahead of the curve?
And, one other thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
We've been talking about these 5 specific dates, but there's always the possibility of, surprises.
Unforeseen events.
Yeah, stuff that nobody could have predicted.
And new technology comes out of nowhere.
Or, a global pandemic happens.
Right. So it's important to stay flexible and be willing to adjust your investment strategy.
So what we've given you today is really just a starting point.
A framework.
Some insights and some key questions to ask.
Now it's up to you to do your own research and think critically.
And make informed decisions.
That align with your financial goals.
Exactly. Because investing in Disney, it's not just about numbers and stock prices. It's about, investing in a story.
A story that's been going on for almost 100 years.
And will probably keep going for another 100.
So whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out,
stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
The world of Disney is full of magic.
And maybe, just maybe, your investment journey will be too.
That's all for our deep dive on Disney stock in 2025.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of business and finance.